Hey everybody, Ryan here, or M&R Productions, and this is my first ever LEGO Modular set, and today we're going to find out whether or not it's worth the money. It's the first time I've ever experienced one of these after 20 or so years of collecting LEGO, and LEGO Modulars have only existed for, I think, about 12 or 13 years at this point, so not quite as long, but still a long time to have gone by, and for me as a giant LEGO fan to have never even experienced building and seeing one of these in person, so I'm actually quite excited for that. This is the 10278 Police Station, retailing for $200 in the United States, and it includes 2,923 pieces there. You get some police figures and some citizens and robbers or whatever in the set. We're going to take a closer look at all of that momentarily, but the first thing with this box, this is the first time LEGO Modulars have had an all-black box art, and that is partly due to what LEGO's doing with the 18+ lineup, so you can see recommended for ages 18 and up, and no, that's not because it's a police set and the police, you know, there was some social commentary people tried to push onto this set, and it's maybe not an ideal time for LEGO to go and release a police station because of what happened earlier in 2020. I don't think that that should matter. I think that this should stand alone. It shouldn't be, you know, harped on for having some outside things outside. Like, LEGO probably decided this was going to be the 2021 modular at least 2 years ago. And so to see people come and attack it for being a police station, given the state of the world, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think it can still be enjoyed by those who want to enjoy it. I don't think that that should be something that you're going to look at the set and be like, oh, yeah, you know, remember there's some problems with the police in the United States. Well, yeah, can't enjoy a LEGO set because of that. Like, I think you should be able to separate those if you're a reasonable person. I don't like that it uses the all-black box art, though. I feel like if it's a modular, like these creator sets, show some fun on the box, right? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense that it's a part of a city street. There's no city street other than the LEGO. It's kind of lame to me, so I wish they didn't do these all-black box arts on some of these sets, but hey, it is what it is. The back of the box shows it with last year's modular set, so you can see some of the colors all mixing together. A lot of color going on with these. I'm very excited to see what this looks like. I don't know what to expect, I'm gonna be honest. Haven't had one of these, but it looks like it's got some fun stuff in the set, so let's unbox this and see what an unboxing of the modulars in 2021 is like. So as I've come to expect with a lot of these larger sets, we're going to have 3 pieces of tape, 1, 2, and 3, just like that. We are in the box. Looks like, I like that. I like it when we have the multi-box and a box packaging style. This one's going to be a bit tough to get out. So here are all the parts laid out. The bags number from 1 all the way up to 14, with most bags having 2 bags, so the numbers are kind of irrelevant to the actual number of bags. You can count for yourself if you'd like. There's also a nice gray 32 by 32 base plate. That's great. That's a good part to build onto for something like this. You're gonna need something solid, and the instructions do come wrapped in plastic, so let's get that off. Normal LEGO instructions. There's a bit at the front about the designer, of course, and then we're on to the build. The set has 5 minifigures, and I'm starting out here with what I think is my favorite one of the 3 police officers in the set. He's got this all dark blue outfit, which admittedly looks really nice. It's a great color scheme. Of course, sticking with the yellow skin tones, that is really iconic of LEGO minifigures that are from non-licensed themes. And my favorite attribute about him is probably his mustache. I think that's just such a great, like, I'm an old cop, I have this mustache, and that's my look type of look. He's got handcuffs, and then a little bit of back printing there, and of course the very nice police hat. The second figure here is assumedly a younger female police officer doing quite a winky face with one of her 2 faces here. Very similar outfit, of course, in all blue. Instead of a hat, she's got a hairpiece, of course, and then removing that hairpiece will reveal that second facial expression, which is a bit of a smirk minus the wink. Third police officer certainly looks younger without the mustache and little stubble beard. He's got a walkie-talkie. Looks kind of like a rookie to me. So same outfit with the police hat and torso prints, except just a different facial print for this police officer. This is the lady that runs the bakery next to the police station. She's got an odd-colored outfit. Kind of reminds me of those 90s paper cups or whatever they were with those weird, like, zigzag lines on them. Just that kind of color scheme. She's got a coffee pot, and then, of course, she has a nice hairpiece there. One smile on one side and a laughing face on the other side with her eyes closed to kind of show that better. My biggest complaint, I guess, there would be the print quality. If you look at her face really closely, you'll notice the quality of the print is just kind of lacking. It seems like it's a little bit faded, which is a bit of a shame. The final character in the set is this crook or thief or criminal, whatever you want to call him. He's got a satchel on. He's got a nice chiz hat. I don't know what else to call it. It's what I know it as, kind of a joke thing. He's also got a newspaper that says Donut Thief Still Hungry, which I think is a pretty hilarious newspaper from the Daily Brick. And he is, of course, the donut thief. He's got donut on a stick, which he's going to use later to try and lure some cops in to his trap or whatever the case is. I thought that's a hilarious little prank or thing they've kind of included in the set and really adds a lot to the vibe of the set. Overall, great figure here. So keep in mind, this is my first ever LEGO Modular set, and I had some preconceived notions coming into this, and those were that I felt like for a police station, I would just want a police station, not a police station squished between two buildings that are really squished in and of themselves. And I feel like I still feel that way after having built the set. I don't think that it really works as a standalone thing. I think where this one shines, and obviously that's kind of what LEGO Modulars have become, is this thing you would buy year over year, is if you put it in a cityscape, if you have buildings on either side of it. I just don't think if you're going to look at it as a police station, that having these two like tiny little buildings makes a lot of sense. But obviously in the sense of a city, it makes a lot more sense because there would be other buildings and it wouldn't look so awkward as it does now to me. So yeah, anyway, starting out on the right side, we have a little newsstand, and it is a little newsstand. It is not taking up a lot of space. About a 6x6 block of space behind this street lamp here. It's just not a lot. You can pull the top off to get some access to the inside where there's some donuts. You can place a character in there. Unfortunately, they don't give you a character to really run the newsstand, which I don't really particularly understand, but they just don't. But yeah, there's some nice printed news things. Of course, the news for the Donut Thief that we also saw the Donut Thief holding. Found it semi-odd that it was separated from the other building, and they even placed a little plant back there, which you can maybe see. It's certainly a little dark back there, and I don't have the flash on to make it easy to see, but there is a little plant back there, so I guess that's a nice bit of decoration. What I don't think is a nice bit of decoration are these little trees here. I think those look really out of place. They look, I don't even know how to explain it. They just don't fit in with the rest of the set at all. I would honestly rather just live without them. I think it would look maybe better, or maybe replace them with something else. Plus they kind of block the walkway, which doesn't make a ton of sense if you're doing city planning. Like if this is a road and this is your walkway for your pedestrians, where exactly do the pedestrians fit here? The answer is they don't. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's stupid, but it doesn't. Anyway, the police station building itself is immaculate. It looks great. The building techniques to get this to look the way it does are really fun. It's a good build. Overall, there's some nice vines running down the side of the building, which I thought was a really nice touch that you kind of build up as you go. And then you have like a little, I think it's like the Twitter bird, right? It's a blue bird with like an orange beak. And then he's got a donut as well, which is kind of cute. Off to the right of it, there's actually a little advertisement for Soap Suds Cleans It All, and it looks pretty cool. I kind of wish it was called Soap Studs though, because that would make a lot more sense in the way of Lego, but it is what it is, I suppose. Nice bit of lights up there too. And then you have the bakery or the donut shop on the left side, just kind of a blank wall there, of course, because that's usually going to be attached up to something. They even leave you a Technic pin to attach it to a previous year's modular. You actually open up this front door here to the bakery, maybe. No, you can't rip the door open the way you would expect to, so I suppose I'm going to have to push it from the inside out. Let's try the police building doors. Let's see if these ones are going to open. Okay, so that one kind of opened, and that one didn't open. So to me, that seems like poor design. Yeah, I think I had them pushed in too hard. So you can close them, but then you can lock them into place. So I see where that becomes an issue there if you push them in too hard, which it appears I have. So don't take that as a big thing. Just know if you're closing these doors, you have to be a little bit more gentle with it instead of just pushing them all the way into place. The back of the building has plenty of windows to allow some natural light into the buildings, and they can also be broken into or broken out of, because on the inside you can actually flip them out. I'll show you that in a moment. There's also some ladders, like a fire escape ladder on the bakery, which is kind of nice. And that all runs off the roof of the police station to begin with. I believe this is supposed to be like a little water tower essentially for the buildings. And then you have some antennas on top of the police station. So not a ton up here, but it's definitely empty space, which you could either build up onto if you really wanted to expand, or just to have there with nothing going on. It's perfectly fine as well. I really like little details on this one, like the slight overhang above the door, just kind of like you would have on a real door in a real city. Like same here down behind the police station. I like the police station's door. It's more industrial, more like, it looks like it's going to be made out of metal or something more robust than the door for the back of the bakeries upstairs. It just is kind of like a little thing, but it's nice. And this door is a lot less prone to getting stuck. I don't even think it can get stuck like the ones on the front, so not really sure what the deal with that is, but it is a thing. There's a slight plant growing next to a crack in a wall there, so we'll see where that leads to in a moment. Now, you can, of course, take sections off to access the inside of the police station and the other buildings, but here's the windows popping out. You can see that's very easy to do. They pop out and get pushed right back into place very easily. Now, the top level of the police station is a bit squished, but it does work out where there's a little interrogation room, cup of coffee, couple different chairs there, and then you also have a tape recorder, I believe, behind there, because I believe this police station is kind of like 80s-ish based, 80s, 90s, so it's not super high tech yet. And then you have a little bathroom, which is pretty awesome. You have the toilet paper, and the toilet paper is actually part, like, you see this, it's not part of the same build, which I thought was interesting. They built it onto something else that attached later. I don't know. It was kind of an interesting part of the build, but both these doors do open to the inside in this building, so kind of like a nice little office space up there with a plant in the corner, and then you get down to the stairs. I opened the door that leads to a little attic room up on the newsstand building, and the way to access this is to pull up and away at that piece there. And you can see there's a little crowbar, a couple little water bottles, I believe, in there, and then a couple other things with a frying pan and a crook cap for your crook or criminal, whatever, cookie, food. So a nice little attic kind of hidden away up there for the police. Not really exactly sure what they do with that, but that is there. But that's all for that top level or third level. You can take that entire level off as well. There's the bottom look to that building. The deal with the advertisement is it's on hinges, so even though it's like hanging here, you think you couldn't place it down. When you go to place it down, it'll just fold away, and then you can push it back when you bring it back in. Now, the second level, I think, is where a lot of the fun details are for sure. Now, looking over here, you have this photography area, which is where you can place your Crook minifigure in to get his picture taken. You have some stairs leading up to the third level, and of course, the stairs going down to the first level there. And then you have a rotary phone, a typewriter, which really sells it. This is old. You have a couple of lamps there as well. And then my favorite part of the build is this little Lego contraption here. They use a rubber band, and basically it looks like they're trying to put together a big case and figure it out. And I thought that was kind of really fun, because that's kind of what you see in a lot of shows and movies with the police and investigators and whatever. That's kind of fun. And then on the second level of the bakery here, I assume this is where the baker or whomever lives, there is a bed, and the bed can actually be opened up, and in that bed there's actually a hole beneath it, and that is where the crook is actually going to be lowering his little mechanism in there with the chain to try and steal some donuts from the bakery below. So it's kind of a really neat way to use that little apartment space. He's got a little carpet on the floor for him there, and I thought originally when I saw the crook there with his little donut thing that the point of that was just because, you know, police like donuts, and they were trying to make fun of that whole thing and have him like trying to lure police in with donuts. And I guess you could work it that way, but yeah, I thought that was really fun. You have a record player in the room as well, and a small little kitchen area, which makes sense because it's a one bedroom kind of all in one, I guess, studio apartment. So you got to have everything in there to make do, other than a bathroom, I suppose. But yeah, very nice little space there. And then you can pull that off. And oh, I guess I should mention here while I'm up here, the siding for the stairs is beautiful. They did a great job with that. It's just these like little plates here, or tiles, but it actually worked out really well and looks really smooth compared to like the jaggedness of the stairs. So it works perfectly. And then taking that level off, we get to the bottom level, which is going to have a little desk where when you walk in to file a complaint at the police department or whatever, you have that lady, the secretary, and you have a little water machine there with little cups and everything. Like, that's a really nice small build. You can see out the front here, the little glass windows and everything, and you can see we can push these doors out very easily. We can push this door here out. Now it's not stuck anymore. You have a little walkie-talkie on the side with a clock, and then you have a little jail cell, actually. You can open that door and close that door. It doesn't really lock, but you do have a little bathroom in the jail, as well as a very, very rudimentary bed, and nothing else really going on in there. Of course, I mean, jail cell bars to see into and out of if you're the prisoner or the captive, whatever you want to say there. But my favorite part about that is that the bed actually folds up like this, and then the prisoner has actually been trying to dig his way out of the police station with a little spoon. So I think that's a really fun detail, and you can kind of pretend that he works his way underneath the stairs there, and that he's kind of cracked through the back of the police station, is about to make his big escape. So I think that's a really fun facet of the set. And then down to the bakery, you have a little coffee pot on the left there. You have the donuts and cookies or whatever bread rolls they are serving up here at the bakery. You can see there are little lights to illuminate them so people know what they're going to be buying. Cash register, of course, with no printed tile or anything, and then some interesting like lavender and white mismatched coloring on the floor, which I think makes sense given the rest of the color scheme for the building, but of course isn't maybe my favorite color scheme for a bakery. I see they kind of went a little bit for a Dunkin' Donuts vibe color scheme here without going full in on it. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that's kind of the vibe it gives off to me for the little awning there. But that is everything the police station has to offer. I mean, it's built on a base plate, and I'm impressed with it. Let me give my final thoughts. Remember, I've spent my entire life essentially buying LEGO Star Wars, and again, this is the first time I've ever owned something like this, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. I don't particularly love it. I mean, it's nice. I can see the appeal. I've actually already bought my second modular set. However, I don't think this one is going to be my favorite of all time. It's nice, like I said, and maybe it's for you. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you watch this video and what you took away from it is that it's great and it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I just don't think that. The figures are decent, but I only really find myself in love with two of them, being kind of the police general and then the crook, although I do really like the coloring on the outfit of the baker lady. I think that's kind of fun, but in general, this set just isn't doing it for me. I feel like it could have been really cool as a full-on police station. I also don't like kind of the negative drama surrounding it where people are trying to like put on this extra weight of what's going on in the world onto this set that just shouldn't be there anyway. But now that people have already been talking about it, it's kind of in the back of your mind the whole time. It's kind of stupid, but that's just kind of the way that it works. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy this, but I don't think that if you're not into modulars, you're gonna want to go out of your way to get it. And maybe that'll change in the future. Like I said, I have already bought my second modular building, and I would love to start a modular building and city type of thing in the future. Maybe that's on the table, but for now, this is a kind of rough first experience for me. It's not that it's bad, it's just not for me. I'd give this one like a 7 out of 10, which ironically was about my average grade in high school. So leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.